No one in the galaxy remembers the moment humanity vanished, because no one realized they were gone until it was far too late. That was the first sign something was wrong. Not a war, not a declaration, just silence. A silence so complete it felt unnatural, like the universe had taken a breath and held it. 3 weeks passed before anyone noticed Earth's absence from long-range communications, and even then the Galactic Council's response was little more than a bureaucratic shrug. They had always assumed humans were fragile, emotional, unstable creatures who would eventually destroy themselves, so their sudden disappearance fit neatly into every bias the galaxy already held. But deep in the Council surveillance archives, a lone technician found something disturbing. The last transmission from the Terran sphere was not a distress call. It was not even a signal. It was a blank carrier wave, one that should not have existed at all, because it was broadcasting from a location that had been mathematically impossible for a human ship to reach. And yet, as the Council dismissed the anomaly as a glitch, the technician watched the glitch slowly pulse, like a heartbeat in deep space. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, strange things began to happen. War fleets miscalculated hyperspace jumps by fractions of a second, fractions that translated into catastrophic errors. Armored convoys drifted off course without engine burn. Planetary defense grids flickered as if responding to invisible commands. Navigational computers froze. Not due to malfunction, but because thousands of calculations suddenly returned answers that contradicted physics itself. The Council blamed sabotage, pirates, independent rebels, anything except the one species they had unanimously labeled harmless. It was only when an Andraxian warlord tried to annex the abandoned Terran sector that the truth began to surface. His fleet reached the coordinates where Earth should have been and found nothing. Not ruins, not debris, not dust. The planet was simply gone, as if someone had erased it from the canvas of reality. The warlord demanded a full Council inquiry. The Council instead laughed, because the idea that humans could do anything on a galactic scale was absurd. But the laughter died when the warlord's fleet vanished on its return journey. Without a single distress signal, without a single sensor ping, without even a trace of hyperspace residue. Gone. Deleted. The Council panicked. And panic only deepened when the pulse from the mysterious carrier wave expanded into a full-spectrum distortion field that spread across 10 star systems in under an hour. Entire star networks flickered with static. Gravity wells trembled. Stars dimmed. Something enormous had awakened, and no one knew what. Then came the first message. It appeared simultaneously on every military frequency, every diplomatic channel, every civilian data stream. It was a single sentence, one the galaxy would never forget. You should not have underestimated us. The Council's chambers erupted in chaos. No one could locate the source. No one could jam it. No one could trace it. But the voice was unmistakably human. The Council demanded answers, but no one had any. Humanity had never possessed the technology for system-wide instant transmission. They had never wielded such power. They had never demonstrated strategic capability beyond conventional warfare. Yet here they were, speaking from nowhere and everywhere. And then the disappearances began. First, small scout ships vanished. Then capital vessels. Then entire outposts. Every disappearance followed the same pattern. No damage, no signs of attack. Just absence, as if something had reached into space and removed them like pieces off a game board. The Council attempted to mobilize a grand defensive armada, but every time a fleet assembled, their formation collapsed before departure. Ships drifted out of alignment. Engine calibrations inverted themselves. Artificial gravity fluctuated. One fleet accidentally folded itself into orbit around its own star, killing 60,000 crew in an instant. Physics itself seemed to be rebelling. Finally, the Council traced the growing distortions to a point beyond charted space, a void where even dark matter maps failed. The only way to understand what was happening was to send a reconnaissance fleet. 112 warships jumped together, expecting to face a hidden empire, a rogue AI, a cosmic anomaly. Anything except what they found. Because when they emerged on the other side of hyperspace, they found Earth, whole, unbroken, floating in a region of space where no planet had ever existed. But it was not the Earth they remembered. The oceans glowed with faint bioluminescent grids. The continents shimmered beneath shield films. Above the atmosphere hung a ring of structures unlike anything the galaxy had ever built. Gravitational megaspires that bent space in elegant spirals, feeding power into the planet like veins pulsing with cosmic energy. The fleet attempted to scan the planet, but every sensor returned the same 3 words: access denied, human priority. Then the humans spoke again, not through radio, not through channels, through gravity, warping spacetime into sound. The message slammed through every hull, every mind, every soul. We disappear because you taught us what fear feels like. The fleet demanded to negotiate. Humanity responded by bending the fleet's formation into a perfect sphere, without touching their engines. Terrified, the fleet surrendered before a single shot was fired. But the humans were not interested in prisoners. They were interested in demonstration. The stars around the fleet bent inward, forming a cage of warped constellations. Planets shifted subtly in their orbits. Asteroids turned like obedient servants. Everything moved according to a pattern the human controlled. You destroyed our world, the humans said to the vibrating void. So we built a new one, not with matter, with laws. And then the Council realized the truth. Humanity had mastered the one force no species had ever controlled: gravity, the foundation of everything. The Council tried to warn the galaxy, but the attempt was pointless. Humanity was already everywhere. Gravity distortions appeared across hundreds of systems simultaneously, forming human symbols in the fabric of space. Council fleets mobilized, but their weapons curved away from their targets. Their shields collapsed inward, their engines pushed in the wrong direction. Every law of motion betrayed them. Humanity had rewritten the rules of war, and they had not even used weapons yet. The galaxy begged for mercy. Humanity offered none. Not revenge, not destruction, correction. Human fleets, small, silent, invisible, appeared above slave worlds, cracking open fortified moons by loosening the gravitational bonds of their cores. They freed billions with surgical precision, collapsing tyrant empires in weeks. They dismantled star fortresses by peeling them apart layer by layer. They erased pirate syndicates by pulling their stations into micro-singularities. And then, at last, the humans addressed the galaxy as a whole. Their message echoed to the curvature of the universe itself. You feared war. You were wrong. You should have feared losing control. In one final display of power, humanity shifted an entire dwarf star fraction of a degree. Just to prove they could, the galaxy trembled. The Council disbanded. Empires surrendered. Armies knelt, because it was now clear humanity had not become monsters. Humanity had become the laws that govern monsters. And from that day on, ancient species whispered the same warning across the dark between stars. Never underestimate humans, because the last time the galaxy did it rewrote the universe.